I'm gonna hit record. Welcome to week 2. Week 2, guys. Are you excited? Yeah, chef, I'm so excited. Oh, I'm so glad to hear it because I know you guys missed my Bob's Burgers impressions during the winter break. No, you did. So we are going over the funness of figuring out the cost per portion. Now, why do you think portioning is so important?
Waste, profit and waste.
Yeah, you want to see how much profit you're going to make, how much waste you have. What else?
I guess being consistent.
Yeah, Ronald, being consistent. You want to make certain that everybody who is working for you knows how much they are supposed to give for every single dish that goes out there because you want that consistency. A friend of mine who I just helped him get his manager's ServSafe certification, he just moved he had a small establishment. It was great. It was beautiful food. And then he moved into a bigger location. He had that ability. And that also meant that he had to hire more people. And it was people like, because this is that mom and pop, like, you know, his daughters were the wait staff, his sons were in the kitchen with him, like real full-fledged, like family business. And once he had to hire new people, new cooks, new servers, all of a sudden we would go in to eat. When he's not working, we would get a different product. We'd get a different amount. Like when he would be there, we're like, oh, cool, this is a great portion size. And then, you know, when somebody else was working, it was like, oh, okay, that was like 2 dumplings instead of like the 5 that it was supposed to be, like that kind of thing. It kind of reminds me, how many people watch Ghostbusters? Did you guys, I'm sorry, I should refrain too. Ghostbusters, the newer Ghostbusters, not the 1980s Ghostbusters. Have you guys seen that one with Melissa McCarthy and everything? Yeah, you seen both? All right. Well, you know how in like every time she gets like delivery, it's like she gets a whole bunch of broth and then like 1 wonton or like 1 shrimp. And then at like the very end of the, like, you know, because they say New York and all that stuff at the very end, like they get the delivery and it's like all wontons and like no broth. And she's like, I just want you to have like a good ratio. Like that is part of your portioning. You want to make certain that you are having that good ratio for everybody. Now, before we go into the slides, I want to make certain that everybody sees the web page. Make sure everybody knows where we're at. You guys see the week 2?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. So remember right here, your conversion sheet. That is important. Make certain that you have your conversion sheet. It was also in week 1 up at the top. I moved it, made a copy of it, and also moved it to your week 2. So that was right here. Let's make certain that you guys use it. So I also moved it right here. It's the same sheet, okay? And then remember, we have all of these great research tools that you guys should be using in the videos. Our assignment is right here. And then I also wanted to show you guys, because it's a new design, if you guys did not notice, if you click on that little blue thing, you see our information plus the tutor's information. So remember to check that stuff out. Now, how did everybody do on their quizzes? How do you guys feel about your last week's assignment?
It was easier than I thought it was going to be.
Oh, good.
Okay, good.
Good. Chef Greg, how do you think everybody did on the week 1?
We saw everybody's grades.
Yeah.
Everybody seemed to really pick up the math, do a great job. One thing that we noticed that's a really, really great thing is how many times each person had took the quiz on an average. So everybody with the amount of quiz attempts. Thank you, everybody, for doing it so many times. It's completely okay. And if you're just missing that one question, all of the other ones you're doing every single time is just putting that better into your brain, just better into learning it. So it's a really positive that you guys did take the quiz so many times. So thank you for doing so. One thing with the quizzes, helpful hint sheets, just a heads up on week 6, please do keep everything. Week 6 will be a little bit of every week built all into one test. You gotta just get rid of
You guys got that? Yeah, it's everything you've learned. Kind of like, you know, what you would normally see for your schooling. Everything you learn, now you get to put it all together, right? Get to use it all together.
So I do see some, it was easies in the chats. Thank you, everybody who attended the bonus session, for those of you who did. And we're also going to have another bonus session this Tuesday for everybody that would like to join.
Yep, and it's going to be Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Yep.
Okay, guys? So, do you guys have any questions about week 1 or the bonus session that's going to be next week or anything like that? Nothing? Nothing? All right. Rock
Good.
stars.
Good.
What time is the bonus session again? It's Tuesday at what time?
Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah, no problem, Kelly. So, all right, let's get started then. So, first off, does everybody know where their their calculator is on their computer? No? Yeah, you got your calculator there. You guys got your calculator there. All right. If I share, I'm going to share my main screen with you guys so you can look right here. See this right here? I can type in calculator and boom, that pops up. And then the best part about this also is if you expand it, it'll give you, if you do anything, it'll give you that info right there. So 9 divided by 3. If you guys can see that, then I'm going to do 15 times 3. See how it lists it all right there for you guys? So it's a great way to be able to double check to make sure that you did in fact put in the correct information. Because how many times has it been that you guys have, you know, missed a decimal place or put an extra 0 or something like that? It's just human error. It happens. Yeah, it happens. So that's why this is great, because it has that little section on the side so you can see whether or not you made a mistake. Am I right, Chef?
Yes, you are. And Samantha, you said you use your phone. My phone has that history thing also on it. The same thing, so I can look back. So if I did something wrong, I typed in one thing and I know that I was right, maybe I just put the decimal in the wrong place or something, you can look back and see that for yourself. My phone does have it also.
All right. That's good to know. I did not know my phone, like the phone did that. Do you have an iPhone or a Droid or?
Who knows? Android, I think.
Android. My husband has iPhone. I have Samsung. I have a Droid, just so I can say to my husband, this isn't the Droid you're looking for. Legit. Say it to him all the time. He loves me. So let's get into the PowerPoint. Yay. So cost controls. So remember, things we're doing this week. You got knowledge checks. You got lessons. Check out those videos. They're very, very important. They will help. Then we have your assignment. It's another quiz. So remember, start now. Do it as many times as you need to get that 100. It's fantastic that, as Chef Gregory was saying, how many attempts there were, because what was it up to? It was like 250 attempts or something like that, right, Chef?
Yeah, which is awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like fantastic. So we want to see that because now is the time to practice, right? So make certain that you guys practice. And we're gonna go over a couple of items, right? So how many pints are in a gallon? Do you guys remember?
8.
Yep.
8 pints.
8 pints.
4,
You are
right?
correct. Look at you. 8 pints equals 1 gallon, right? The 1 gallon, how many quarts are in a gallon?
4.
4 quarts.
4 quarts. Very good. Now, how many cups are in a gallon?
16.
It's
16.
16.
All right. Good job. Now, how many cups are in a pint?
2 cups in a pint.
2 cups in 1 pint. Correct. How many ounces are in a cup?
8.
8 ounces in a cup.
So how many ounces are in a pint?
There is
16.
16 ounces.
See, look at you guys. Knowing this stuff off the top of your head. Boom. So then, how many ounces are in a gallon?
128.
128 ounces.
Yep.
128 ounces. Look at you guys go. All right. And then, we already did. How many ounces are in a pint, right?
Yes.
16. How many ounces are in a pound?
16 ounces.
16 ounces. Good job. And we talked about how many ounces are in a cup, which was
8 ounces.
8 ounces. How many tablespoons are in 1 ounce?
2 tablespoons.
2 tablespoons. Very good. So 1 tablespoon equals a half an ounce, right?
Yes.
All right, we're on them. And then how many teaspoons are in 1 tablespoon?
3.
3 teaspoons.
3. Boom. Now, how did you guys know all that?
Just from doing it over and over and over.
Yes,
Doing
exactly.
it over and over and over, right? It's practice, 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 practice. It makes it so you guys can do it instantaneously. Now, this is why all of these quizzes are set up, so that you can practice, 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 right? So that way you can say, if I need 3 cups of, what do you want? 3 cups of clarified butter. How many ounces is that?
24.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job. See, because it was just 3 times the 8. So that's what you're pretty much doing, right? And now you're going to do the same thing when you're converting your recipes to figure out your portions, to figure out, because everybody's going to buy stuff in bulk, right? Nobody's going to buy 1 chicken. We're going to buy 50 pounds worth of chicken, right? No one's just going to do 1 chicken breast. No, that's not cost effective for you. That's not going to be good for your business. You're going to buy 50 chicken breasts. You're going to buy 100 chicken breasts. You're going to then take those numbers and divide it down to get to how much it's going to cost per recipe. So we go back. Look, it's a hot dog. Yay. Who loves hot dogs? I do, right, Austin? Yeah, hot dogs. So, you have 1 package of hot dog buns has 12 buns. The recipe calls for 1 bun. How many servings are in 1 package?
12.
12. How'd you get that?
12 buns, and then serving is just 1 bun. So, the
So
1
then-
divided into 12.
Yep. So 12 divided by 1. What if I was going to do 2 hot dogs, buns?
6 servings.
Yeah, how many servings?
6.
6, right? So you did then you do 12 divided by 2, and then you would get 6 servings, right?
Yes.
Everybody got that? All right. So now that 1 package of hot dog buns costs $3. How much does 1 serving cost?
25 cents.
For the two or the one per serving?
One per serving, because we're using this right up here. That 12. So you got one package of hot dog buns, cost $3. How much does one serving cost?
25 cents.
25 cents. Anybody else? Is Roy right?
Yeah, he's right.
Yes, he is. He is correct. Because you have that $3. That's how much your package cost, and you divide it by your servings. So that 3 divided by 12, you get 25, right? You guys got that? All right. So then, one package of hot dogs has 8 hot dogs. The recipe calls for 2 hot dogs. Because, I mean, you've seen it before. You have a giant bun, and there's not enough, and then you have this rinky-dink hot dog, tiny, tiny hot dog, and you're like, there's more bun than hot dog. I want meat in there. So I want 2 hot dogs in my one bun, right? Right? Roy gets it. Yeah, right. So how many servings are in one package?
4.
4. How'd you get it?
You divide 8 by 2.
Yeah, good job. Divided 8 by 2. You got 4 servings. Great job. Now, that one package of hot dogs costs $5.99. So how much does one serving cost? Remember, we're going off of this right here. That 4 servings are in that one package. So how much does one serving cost?
$1.49.
$1.49. Anybody else?
Yeah, $1.50 if you round it. Yeah, same thing.
Yeah, $1.50 is right.
See how I have this right here? It is that $1.49.75. Are we going to round up or round down?
Round up.
Why are you going to round up?
Well, because of the next number, 9,
9 and 5.
being past 6 is up, and then
Yeah, because you have that 9 and it's above that 5, right? 5 and above, you round up, right?
you round up. Yes.
Yeah. So it's $1.50. So right now, how much does this burger, how much does this hot dog cost? With the bun and my hot dogs, how much does it cost? Yep, Greg wrote $1.75, correct. Because you add that 25 cents to that $1.50. You can get $1.75. Perfect. Any questions? How do you guys feel? You guys feeling good? This is where you say something. Yeah, sure.
Kind of confusing a little bit, actually.
Okay, Kelly, what's going on?
So then we add okay, so I understand you divide the 8 into the 2 and you got the 4. And
Yep.
then you divide also.
Then you're trying to figure out what one serving cost. You figure out what 4 servings were. You were able to get 4 servings out of that one package. So that means you're going to do that $5.99 divided by 4. And that is how we got that $1.4975, which we rounded up to $1.50.
And then don't we add something else on there?
I'm sorry?
Don't we add something else to the 150, somebody said?
Well, I asked how much did it cost for your hot dog bun plus your hot dog.
I got you. That's what was confusing me. I didn't hear you say that. Okay, I understand.
Yep. No, you're good. You're good. That's why we are here. So it is $1.75 so far.
So we're not going to concern ourselves with the onion and mustard and ketchup and all that. Just do with the math that's on the screen.
We're doing the math that's on the screen. Well, I got my mustard and ketchup right here for you, Paul. Because my kid is a condiment lover. We tried to explain to him that it's supposed to enhance the flavor, that he shouldn't just eat it on its own, because he will legit eat like soy sauce and mustard and ketchup like by the spoonful. And I'm like, that's not how it's supposed to be used. Like, yeah, it's but like, you know, I can kind of get the ketchup and the barbecue sauce, but like mustard and then like the soy sauce, I'm like, whoa, dude, like, what are you doing? So our hot dog needs some mustard and ketchup, right? We're going to say that that recipe calls for 0.25 ounces of mustard. In the mustard bottle, this mustard bottle right here is 14 ounces. So how many servings are in the mustard bottle?
56.
Boom. How'd you get that?
I divided 14 by 0.25.
Yes, you divided 14 by 0.25. Perfect. And you got 56 ounces. Perfect, right?
I have a question quick.
Yep.
How do you know to put the 14 first instead of the 0.25?
How do you
dividing it? Like when you're dividing it, you put 14 first. How do you know to put the 14 and not the 0.25 first before you're dividing?
Because you want to see how many portions. You're taking that bigger number and you're trying to see how much you can get out of that bigger, how much of that smaller number you can get out of that bigger one. So if I have, let's see, I'm gonna do it right now. I have ready? I'm improvising. I got 4 pieces of paper right here, right? 4 pieces of paper. And I want to know how many times I can fold this in half, right? So I folded it once, right? And then I can fold it again and again and again. So then you're able to realize how, like if I get it really small.
Okay, so you go from because the paper's bigger and then you go to a smaller, that's what you use first.
Yep, because you're trying to figure out how many times this can be folded into that giant piece of paper. So yes.
Got
Right,
you.
Jeff?
Thank you.
All right, perfect. So then we have 14-ounce container of mustard, costs $1.60. That's legit too. I looked this up. I found this cute little picture and I found the price for it. So that 14-ounce container costs $1.60. How much does that one serving cost now? How much does that one serving of 0.25 ounces of mustard cost?
3 cents.
3 cents. How'd you get that?
I divided $1.60 by 56.
Yep, $1.60 by 56. And then we got this delightful number, right? 0.0285714. It goes on forever, right? So are we going to round up or round down?
Up.
Up. Round up. Correct. We're rounding up because of that 8 right there, right? So we're rounding that bad boy up. And now we're going for the ketchup. Our bottle is this bad boy right here. That sucker weighs 7 pounds. My son would be in heaven. He would go nuts. That and for currywursts. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of currywursts. It's German. It's pretty much like ketchup with curry in it. He goes crazy for that. He would like just eat the whole thing if we left it on the shelf that he could reach. The recipe calls for 0.5 ounces of ketchup. The ketchup bottle is 7 pounds. How many servings are in that ketchup bottle? Oh, I see 224. So what do we have to do first, right? We have to make sure the units of measure are the same. We have ounces and we have pounds. We got to make sure that they're the same, right? You want to have it be ounces or pounds or pounds. So is it going to be easier to make this be an ounce or a pound?
224.
Yeah, 224. Because 7 pounds times 16 ounces, because that's how many ounces are in a pound, you get 112 ounces, right? Very good, Greg. And then we get to do the actual question. Then you have 112 ounces times 0.5 ounces. That's how you get the 224.
Divided by it.
Oh, sorry. Did I say times? I apologize. Divide. Thank you, Chef. Now it's remember, with these things, majority of the time, it's not going to be a one-step problem. There's going to be multiple steps to it. You have to convert your tablespoons to ounces and your cups and gallons and all that kind of stuff. You have to do those conversions first, and then you have to get to the actual answer, right? And then that 7-pound container of ketchup costs $6.39. How much does one serving cost?
$0.03.
3 cents. Does everybody agree with Paul?
Yeah.
Who's on fire? Austin, yep. Yeah, it's because it's $6.39 divided by that serving, the 224. Sometimes people forget, they convert it to ounces and they kind of forget the middle step. So that's where, or they'll do vice versa. They'll forget this step and just try to answer the question. That's why it's so important to do all the steps. Now, are we rounding up or rounding down?
Up.
Up. Correct. Why do you want to round up?
At 8.
Because the third one is an 8, so it's 5 and above.
Mm-hmm. Third one is an 8, so it's 5 and above, right? So, how do you guys feel about this stuff? You feeling good? Any questions? Any at all? No? No? All right. Well, perfect then. Look at you guys go. So remember, this week, we have those knowledge checks in your assignment. And right now, your assignment is the quiz. It's going to be due on Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. Central Standard Time, but you guys get to take that quiz as many times as possible, right? So start now, right? So then, I'm going to turn it over to Chef Gregory, who is going to talk about the assignment. And he's going to go over the math. We just did a good chunk of it. Now he's going to fine-tune it and finesse it and show you guys some examples of what you are going to see on the quiz. Isn't that right, Chef?
Yes, I am.
All right.
All right. Did everybody get the helpful hint sheet that I sent out last week? Perfect. So tomorrow morning when I wake up, you're going to get another helpful hint sheet. This is what the helpful hint sheet will be. I'm going to send one of these out every week. I'll send it out twice. I'll send it out on Friday, so you have it for the weekend, and then Monday just in case. Please do save these, bookmark them. I print them out just because I'm like hard copies of paper. So this is going to be your week 2 one. So when we're talking about rounding, and we're going to go over questions, we're going to go over exact questions from the quiz like we did last week. I do have a new setup, so that way it's a lot easier, and I think it's just going to show it a lot better. So when we're talking about this, our quiz this week, we're going to have 2 types of questions. When we're talking about what is it asking, we're going to have how many can be made, and we're going to have how much does it cost. Those are going to be the 2 questions that it's asking us. Okay? So we're going to go through this real quick, and we're going to talk something about rounding. So down here, $3 per pound, and you need to know how much 1.9 ounces costs. First step, divide your price per pound by how many ounces are in a pound. $3 per pound divided by our 16 ounces in a pound, and this is going to be our answer. Now, really, really important, we're going to stop. Because this isn't, we're just getting our conversion first. We're not going to do anything with rounding right now. So down here it says, remember, do not round yet. Our next step, next you'll multiply price per ounce by the number of ounces you need. Desmond, thank you, Desmond. Next, you will multiply your price per ounce by the number of ounces you need. So we're taking this number again, which we did not round. We're multiplying it by our 1.9 ounces. And that'll give us this. Now, since this is going to be our final answer, now we are going to round. So we have our 0.356. We are rounding up 2 decimal places. So our final answer we would type in into the quiz would be 0.36. Does everybody get that? We're not going to round until the end.
Why do you think that is, that we do not round until the end?
Thank you, Paul. I see your thumbs up.
Because you might shortchange yourself if you round too soon.
Yes, exactly. All right, so now we are going to get into some actual quiz questions. So these, just like last week, these are going to be questions exactly off of your quiz. Of course, the numbers change, but I'm sure you've noticed if you take the quiz, you do it again, the numbers change. Okay? So these are exact questions off your quiz. All right. You buy Parmesan cheese in 2-gallon containers. 1 batch of cheese ravioli requires 0.3 pints of Parmesan cheese. How many batches can be made with 1 container? So remember when we were talking about 2 types of questions it's going to ask. How many can be made? And how much does it cost? So what are we looking for on this one? How many can be made or how much does it cost? I can't see the chat, so if anybody can just tell me.
How many can be made?
How many can be made? All right, perfect. How many can be made? Okay. So first thing we're going to do is our conversion, like Chef Rachel talked about. So what is our storage size for this problem?
8 pints are in a gallon.
Yes, but first, what does it say here? Storage size. So what is our storage size?
2 gallons.
2 gallons, perfect. So we're going to do 2. Now we're going to multiply. So whoever said before, please say again, how many pints are in a gallon?
8.
8.
Good job, Kelly. 8 pints.
Okay.
53 servings.
First part. So we're going to do 2 times 8. 16 equals 16. Okay? The reason we did that, storage size, because we have 2 gallons. So that's the 2. How many pints are in a gallon? That is 8. How many pints are in 2 gallons? 16. So now we're going to divide. So can somebody please tell me what the batch size is for this problem?
0.3.
Yes, sir. 0.3. Okay. Back to our calculator. We have our 16. Dividing it by our 0.3. Can somebody please tell me what I'm going to type into the quiz for my final answer?
53.33.
That is absolutely correct.
Because it's
You wouldn't
below.
round that off?
Okay,
You
good
wouldn't round
question.
that off to 53?
What is our third place after the decimal? This number right here.
3.
3. So because it's below 5,
Same.
same.
But it's not a batch size. It's not a full batch size.
You're right. You're right. So if you were talking technical terms in a actual kitchen, you would have 53 is how much you could make. But just like in an actual kitchen, you would never order anything and get the exact amount to the teaspoon every single time. So this is how many you could make. So if you're thinking about it in terms, if you needed to make 53 portions, you would have enough. If you needed to make 50 portions, you would have enough. But if you needed to make 60 portions, you need to order more cheese.
Do the questions say round off to the certain full serving size or round off to the second decimal place?
No, it says round. This is the exact wording off the quiz. It says round to 2 decimals.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so that's what you'll see on your quiz. And this, if you were doing this right now, you would type in your 53.33. All right? All right. So let's do another one. So in this one, you're going to see a lot of things familiar. It's asking again, how many can be made? However, if we look again at the first one, this equation's exactly the same. Storage size times pints in a gallon divided by the batch size. Okay? Now we're talking about brown stock. So can somebody please tell me the storage size for this problem?
0.7.
1 gallon.
It's gallon.
The storage size, Paul. Yep,
Oh.
1 gallon. Yep. Okay. Now we're going to multiply that. How many pints are in a gallon?
8.
8. Got it. Equals 1 gallon times pints in a gallon is 8. Now we're going to divide that by our batch size. Can somebody please tell me the batch size? Paul, you had it earlier.
0.7.
0.7.
Yes, sir.
11.42.
Okay. You're right, Paul, but what would the answer be that I'm going to type into my quiz?
11.43.
Yes, exactly. Is everybody cool with that one?
Yep.
All right. And remember the history part. So if you were to do a decimal wrong or something wrong, you can look back. This is everything that we've done so far.
Isn't that great? I think that's such a great tool to have, so you can double check to make sure, because human error happens all the time. So this is a great way to double check.
I did it in the live session, for bonus session first thing, unfortunately. Yes, I typed in the wrong number. All right, so another one. So now we're talking about milk. However, we're still talking about how many can be made. Okay? So for this one, can somebody please tell me the number of gallons?
1.
1. Can somebody please tell me how many pints are in a gallon?
8.
8. Can somebody please tell me what that equals?
8.
8.
8. We're going to divide. However, remember we had gallons up here and we have pints here. So we're going to divide our pints per serving. Can somebody please tell me the pints per serving?
0.3.
0.3. Now we're going to go to our calculator. We have our 8 dividing 0.3. Can somebody please tell me what I would type into my quiz?
26.67.
Yep.
Thank you both. Okay. Seems like everybody's getting these ones pretty well. So we're going to move on. This is another type of one you're going to see. However, first thing we're going to look at, can somebody tell me what it's asking us?
How many pounds
How
in
many
a shipment
portions
and
can be
pounds in a
made?
serving?
Exactly. Okay, perfect. How many portions can be made? So now it's asking us the same thing up here. However, when we look at this problem, you buy tomatoes in 25-pound shipments. One batch of Cobb salad requires 0.7 pounds of tomatoes. So we have pounds for our shipment, and we have pounds for our tomatoes. So we have the same unit of measure there. We have pounds and we have pounds. So for this one, how many pounds do we have per shipment?
25.
25. Now we're going to divide it because we still have pounds. So how many pounds are in one serving for one Cobb salad?
0.7.
Perfect. 0.7 equals. So what am I going to type into my quiz?
35.71.
35.71. All right. So I'm going to change the numbers. I'm going to do another one. Okay. So now, how many pounds per shipment?
15.
Perfect. How many pounds per Cobb salad?
0.9.
0.9.
That's a lot of Cobb salad.
16.67.
16.67. Yes, Paul, that is a lot of Cobb salads. Okay. Everybody cool on that one? Is there any questions? I can't see the chat, so if anybody has one, please just unmute yourself and let me know.
Everybody's pretty quiet in the chat right now.
Cool.
We are good to go.
All right. So we are going to switch down and talk about costs. We can start with this one. All right. So now we're looking. So what does this say? How much does sauce for one portion cost? So the other one were how much is it? How much we made? This one is costs. All right. So we still do, though, in this case, we still need to convert because we have quarts up here and we have pints down here. So first thing, can somebody please tell me the price per quart?
70 cents.
70 cents, 0.70. We're going to divide that. How many pints are in a quart?
2.
2. There is 2. Okay. 0. Okay. So we're not done yet. However, okay, 35 cents. Is everybody cool with that one?
No.
Yep.
Confused.
You're not? Okay, please tell me why.
It says, okay, so for 70 cents per quart.
Yep.
Why are you dividing it by 2?
Because there's 2 pints in 1 quart. I need to convert it. I need to know how much 1 pint costs. Because it's asking me here, it's asking me for pints. Exactly. So half, yep. So we're divided by 2, so we're at 35 cents.
Okay.
Now we're going to multiply that by our pints in 1 portion. Can somebody please tell me how many pints are in 1 portion?
3.
3.
You get $1.05.
Yes, sir, we do. So what am I going to type in for my quiz?
1.05.
1.05. Is everybody all right on that one?
So even though you're talking about money, it's still the same. It's still the same formula as though you were. The formula is not changing, regardless of what you're talking about.
Yes, because we have to still convert. Because when we look up here, when we first look at the question, see how these are in bold? I'll even put them in underlines also. We have quarts and we have pints. So we have 2 different units of measure. So we need to make everything the same unit of measure.
Okay, I think what was throwing me off is the fact we were talking about money, and I think that kind of just threw me off.
Okay. I totally understand that. But even when we're talking about money, or we were talking about one up here, the question we did up here,
Mm-hmm.
we still needed to convert. On this one, we had gallons and pints. In this
Okay.
one, we had gallons and pints. Now we're down to money, and we have quarts and pints.
Okay.
We still do need to convert. Now, the time that we didn't for today was on our tomato question.
Because they were both pounds.
Pounds and pounds. Yes, exactly. 15 pounds when we switched the number, and 0.9 pounds. We didn't need to switch anything. We could just go right into the math, get our final answer.
Okay.
All right. So we'll do another of costs. Let's do some egg noodles. You buy egg noodles at $1.40 a pound. One portion of chicken noodle soup requires 2 ounces of egg noodles. How much do the noodles for one portion cost? So the first thing we need to do is we know we need to do a conversion because we have pounds and ounces. So the price per pound, how much is the price per pound?
$1.40.
1.40. Okay. We're going to divide. How many ounces are in 1 pound?
16.
16. Calculator. 1.40 divided by 16. Now, when we were talking about not rounding to the end, this is not going to be our final answer for this question. So we need that number.
As is.
Yes. We need, because we're not done yet.
Okay.
We need this number just like this.
Okay.
Okay. Now, we have another step, which we're going to do right now. We're going to multiply the number of ounces in a serving. How many ounces of egg noodles do we put in one portion of chicken noodle soup?
2.
2. Yes, everybody. Okay. Now, we still have our number up here, right? We didn't round it. We didn't touch it. We're going to multiply that by 2. Now, we're done. We can round. What would I put into my quiz?
18 cents.
Yes, 18. Does everybody understand why we would do 18 and why we wouldn't round until the end?
So we're just not rounding to the end because that would throw the equation off rounding that 0.875, right?
Yes, it would honestly, it would throw. I don't want to do an example just to eliminate any confusion, but it would throw you way off. You'd have a completely different number.
Remember, this is an industry of pennies. We are counting the pennies. We're counting the quarters of a pennies. So that's why it's important to wait to round, because you want to count as many pennies as you can.
Okay.
All right. So we have done we've done the made and we've done the costs. Is there any questions that anybody would like to see another example of?
Can you go over that tomato one again?
The tomato one, of course. Yeah, I'm going to switch the numbers and we're going to do the tomato one again. Let me find it. Okay, this one?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. I'm going to switch the numbers. Okay? Okay. First thing we're going to look for. How many can be made?
Okay.
Right here. Okay? All right. Next thing we're going to look for. Do we need to convert?
No.
No. Why?
They're both in pounds.
Pounds. Yep. You buy tomatoes in 12-pound shipments. One batch of Cobb salad requires 0.3 pounds of tomatoes. We do not need to convert. We can go right into our math, and this will be our final answer. We'll round after. So we have 12 pounds in one shipment. We're dividing by 0.3 pounds per Cobb salad. Divided by What would I type in for my quiz if this numbers came up?
Just 40?
40, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Anybody else? It seems like. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
How do you know if you're like getting the right? I mean, I know on a quiz it's going to tell if you got it wrong or right or not, but like, you know how like we're rounding numbers. So how do you know? Like, let's say you did it backwards, 0.7 divided by 25, and you still get, I don't know, some random decimal number that you round, and it may look like that could be the correct number, or how we got the 0.875 and had to multiply that by something. Like, how do you? I guess I'm just confused maybe on the formulas at times.
Okay, that's understandable. So if we look at this again, if you read through the helpful hint sheet, let's not worry about the cost one. Let's go back up to the how many can be made.
Okay.
Okay, you're probably dividing how much you have by how much each serving or in a batch. You have 2 gallons of milk. You need 0.2 pints of milk for each serving. They're different, so we know we have to convert.
Right.
We have our 2 gallons. How many pints are per gallon? But remember, we have 2 gallons.
Okay.
This is how many pints are in 2 gallons.
Okay.
Then we divide by how much is in a portion or a batch. We know that because it tells us 0.2.
Okay.
So we have our 16 pints total. We're dividing it by our 0.2, which it told us to do. And our answer in this case would be 80. So you can make 80 servings.
Okay.
Of this.
I think I just, like with the last quiz we took, I think I was just getting confused. Like I took it a couple of times, so I got 100, but.
All right. Well, awesome for taking it.
confusing.
Thank you very much for continuing to take it. So because it looks like we're pretty decent on week 2, I'm going to bring back up, I have week 1. So for everybody that knows, you can still please take your week 1 quiz, just like you could resubmit in your other classes. You can resubmit your quiz. You can take it on your own until this coming Tuesday at midnight. So if anybody would like to retake 1, you can, and 2 will also be open, so you can start to take week 2. So do you have a question? Do you have one that you think you were getting stuck on? We can do an example of.
I don't know which. Where I get confused is more so like when to multiply and when to divide, and that was like. I don't remember the exact one, but it was like probably 2. I kept getting confused. Like I kept dividing when I needed to multiply and then multiplying when I was supposed to divide. And I was confused as to. Okay.
I'm going to click. It's okay. So I'm going to click through these. And if you see one that you were like, that's definitely it, you tell me and we're going to stop and do it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So this one was teaspoons of peppercorns.
Oh, okay.
This one was pounds of egg whites. Onion powder. Cups of milk.
This was one of them.
Okay. All right. So we look at our formula. So the amount in hand divided by the amount per serving. So tell me what is our amount in hand? How much do I have?
I have 30.
You have 30. You have 30 cups of milk in your kitchen. Okay. You need 2.25 cups to make 1 serving of fried chicken. Now we're trying to figure out how many servings we can make. Okay?
Okay.
All right. Okay.
So I'm dividing that because I need to take 2.25 out of each one.
Yep. I'm gonna say a visual, okay? So you're
actually I have a visual up.
Oh, please, that'd be great. That'd be great.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop. Let me just do the answer for this, Chef, and
yes,
then
that's what I figured, yeah.
Thank you, I appreciate it. All right, so we had our 30 cups of milk. Paige, you have 30 cups in your kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? You're dividing the amount per serving. We know that it's telling us. A recipe card is telling us. 30 divided by 2.25.
So 13.33.
It is, yes. So on this one, we're rounding to the nearest serving. So, what do you think the nearest serving would be?
Would it just be 13 because it's 3.3?
13.
All right.
Okay.
All right, Chef, you're up.
All right. So, do you guys see my page? The milk?
Yes.
Okay. Now, when you think about what number goes first, right, when you're dividing, think of it this way. You have this big giant thing, gallon of milk container. Can this entire thing fit into this one cup?
No.
No, right? But one cup can fit into this gallon.
Right.
So that's where you need to, you want to find out how many cups actually fit in this 1 gallon. So that is where you figure out the bigger number, you're dividing how many cups. So you can figure out how many cups can fit into this giant gallon.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
How did you find that picture of that example? Because that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, this is great. I just Googled cup into a pint.
Okay.
And I went to the images, and then I found this bad boy. I can even put it in our link when I send you guys the messages saying that the live session is up. I will put this link on here also so that you guys have that.
Thank you.
Right.
Does that sound like a plan?
Yes.
All right. It's amazing what you can Google nowadays. You can Google everything. It's fantastic.
Very true.
So how does everybody feel? Is everybody feeling good?
No.
No.
No, definitely no.
Well, please do remember we are going to have a live session on Tuesday again.
And I'll be there.
Yep.
Okay.
And remember, you can practice. You can practice now, and then if you keep on practicing, you may not even need the bonus live session, right?
Well, my question is with the questions, the numbers change, not the wording. Like not the question itself, just the numbers in the question.
If you take the quiz and then you take it again, the numbers will change, yes, but the math that you're going to use would still be the same.
And
I get that, but it seems like when I guess on the bonus thing we had on Tuesday, y'all said to look at the key questions, and I wasn't doing that. But when I was just so confused because the whole question would change, and I was just like, okay, oh my God, like I'm confused. So that's what kept throwing me off.
Understood. But just remember that the math, like if you look at the helpful hint sheet, it writes it out differently, but it's showing you what the math is. So even if you just, like I did, I just deleted 25 pounds and I made it 15. That could happen on your quiz, but your math, the way you would find it out, would still always be the same.
Now, when we look for it, because I've been looking for that sheet and I cannot find the helpful sheet. It's like, can I do it on is it the phone that I can't find, or I need to definitely go on the computer?
I can show you because we put it on the slides. We will have it. I not only had the helpful sheets on like right down here at the assignments, but it was also in the discussion, and it can show you for the previous week we did.
It's right above the vid.
Yeah, you see how it's right here, and it's also right here. So I'll keep, the slides will be there, and the so you guys, since you can get enough of the hot dog, am I right? Hot dog, hot diggity dog. And it'll be in 2 places for you.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Kelly, you have a question?
Yeah, I know it's time to go. I just had a quick question about like food costs. I do a little bit of catering on the side, and we talked about this before. If I'm spending, like, it's just me that does it. So if I'm spending like $50 on food, do I want to divide that by, I know you said industry standard was 30%, or?
So what we use, I'm sure you guys have heard it, a while in your class. So we use 30%. That's our base to show everybody. So we have 30% food costs, 30% labor costs, 30% other costs, gas, travel, equipment, stuff like that, and then 10% left for profit. So if we're keeping our 30%, if we're just talking about food, and this will actually be on quiz next week. So if we're talking about that, the way it's presented on the quiz next week is how much can you charge? How much do I want to charge for something? So let's say I have a burger on my menu, and I need to know how much I'm going to charge for it. So my burger, what does it cost me to make? And I'm just talking about food. It cost me $3.50 to make my burger. Now, if we're talking about our 30, 30, 30, 10, our 30%, I want my food cost to be 30%. I'm going to divide my food cost, I want it to be 30%. $11.67 is the minimum I can charge for my burger to be at 30%.
Can you pull that calculator up and do that? Like, you don't have to explain it again, but just do the numbers on the calculator so I can visually see what you just did.
Sure. We're talking about hamburgers.
Right.
My hamburger cost me $3.50 to make.
I don't see your calculator.
Oh,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I'm doing it to myself. All right, let's start over. Thank you for calling me out on that. All right. So we're talking about a hamburger. I have a hamburger on my menu. My hamburger cost me, we're talking about food cost right now. It cost $3.50 to make. The food cost. Now I know I want my food cost to be at 30%.
Okay.
Divide 0.30. 30% is a decimal.
Okay.
Get $11.66. We're going to, of course, round up. So $11.67 is the bare minimum I can charge for my burger to cover my food costs.
So now, just as an example for a restaurant cost, because you did the food cost like that, would you be, in fact, just saying, hey, to make it an even number, because you wouldn't really see like 11.67 for your burger, would you just make it $12 in a restaurant, like,
okay,
and
so
make a little profit, or you wouldn't do that either?
So if we were talking say we're talking in the real world, right? So if I want my food cost to be 30%, yes, I want it on my burger, but I also want it to be on my crab cake. What if my crab cake costs 32%? If I raise the price on my burger a little bit, it'll even out the cost of my crab cake. This is just the bare minimum that you could charge to have your food cost 30%. Of course, if you're like, you know what, I'm going to do $13 for my burger. Guess what? Awesome. You made more money. Your food cost on your burger would be lower.
Got it.
All right. I unfortunately have to go. I believe Chef Rachel does too.
Yes.
Thank you, everybody.
Go ahead, Chef.
Okay, just real quick. Please remember, week 2 is due on Tuesday. Week 1, if you'd like to retry it again, is due on Tuesday, both at midnight. Please turn it in on time. It's just more time to ask questions, review the helpful hint sheet. You can watch this video again and pause it when we have a formula, and you just use the formula. So please turn it in by, try a quiz by Tuesday. That's it. That's all I got.
Thanks, chefs.
Yeah.
Thank you, everybody.
And I hope everybody has a great night. Have a good weekend. We'll see you.
Thank you, everybody.